Hello everyone, what's up? Cortec here and welcome to another Starcraft 2 replay. We're going to be watching a Zerg versus a Terran. Zerg versus Terran. It's going to be a game, GoatSwarm, our Zerg player, red Zerg player, versus our Terran, ZiZon Tiger, the blue Terran. Bottom left, Tiger, bottom right, GoatSwarm. Now it's going to be a first of many, hopefully, StarCraft 2 commentaries, so stick tuned. Stick tuned? Stay tuned. That's what it is, not stick tuned. What? But now let's talk about the map. The map is Newkirk Precinct. It is a pretty good map. It's pretty symmetrical. Everything that is on the left side, it is mirrored on the right side, almost exactly. Even these little nooks and crannies are all mimicked. Everything, every little thing, yeah. So we have our watchtowers in the middle here. In the beginning, this is the most important one because it's the quickest path to the other base. And here, mostly useful only in the later game when you have these bases over here, so you can control when he's going to harass you here or attack. Now we see a scouting probe here, the drone. I mean, he managed to get in. He has this nice scouting pattern. He can pretty much see the gas, everything you need to, really. Now we're going to be seeing a fast expand by the Zerg player, 15 or 14 expand, and 16 gas, which is kind of odd. We're be seeing some Mutaplay, or maybe even some early Zergling, probably. If he manages to get the gas he wants, and then stop, I guess. Now, we see both overlords going here, this area, instead of around the map. Seems a bit fishy. Now we see the spawning pool being thrown down now at 16 or 17 supply. Bit odd, but well, I don't get it that early. I mean that late. This was a couple supply late, so if you manage to get it to work, that'd be awesome for him. Now he has already done the orbital command. He's getting second gas at 18 supply, the Terran player. So we might be seeing something gas heavy, maybe mech or something like that. It'd be pretty. Mech's a pretty good style against Zerg. It works on so many levels. He managed to get, if the Zerg is not aggressive, then at a certain point it's just GG for the Zerg. Mech is just really good, but you just have to play it right. It's a different playstyle to play. Play differently against Bio than you do against Mech, especially with the new changes. Now he stopped gathering gas here, and he started researching metabolic speed boost. Metabolic boost. Oh, so he's going for speed Zergling, early speed Zergling. Maybe he was going for a third here, or here. Getting a third here is actually kind of a tough thing, actually. So the Terran's pretty good, like over here. There's a choke here, but there's a choke also here, so you can get a couple of tanks and bunkers and planetary, and it's pretty much protected. These chokes here are pretty good versus Terran. But for the Zerg, on the other hand, it's not that good. This third is very exposed to the middle of the map, so the harassment is pretty much possible against a Zerg player. If you get this third, though, it's still as bad, but in a different way. It's too branched out, so it'll be tougher to defend, especially without the creep spread that he needs. But it is getting us 2 more queens, so he's gonna get that creep spread, which is gonna be nice. Now we do see a tech lab being thrown down in the starport, along with Banshees. So Banshees versus Zergling right now, and Hellion, so the Zerg players are gonna be at a loss here. Oh wow, that's a massacre for the Zerglings. That did not help at all. Let's look at the units lost. He lost 4 Zerglings, that's not a lot, but he's losing them all now. That micro is not good for the Zerg. He should just run away. He should stop fighting, maybe. He lost 300 resources here. It was not a good battle for him. He sees the Hellions, and now he decides to throw the GoatSwarm. Pretty good call, I have to say. Now he's not getting the gas. Okay, he's not now getting the gas. And he's now going over here to get this gas, although he threw them got the guys from down here. Probably because he's just saturated over here. Oh, we got the Hellions down here. We have some Hellion harassment down here. It's pretty good. He's managed to kill a lot of workers actually. Killed 2 actually. That's not a whole lot of workers. He managed to micro the workers pretty efficiently. So it wasn't that efficient. Although he stopped the mining time, it was a win for him. It was a pretty good win for him. And Cloak on the Banshees is done. And he's gonna hit right. He's gonna get that Banshee working. He doesn't have the lair. That's the thing. He doesn't have the lair to defend against this. And when he has Cloak, he has to get an evolution chamber. Well, not an evolution chamber now. He just has to get a Spore Crawler. But still. Okay, so let's get the lair. He needs them observers and the Hydras or Mutas ASAP. Yeah. Oh, and second Banshee is coming up here for the Terran player. He just keeps releasing them Banshees. We have a pretty good Hellion count and a pretty good economy, but no expansion for the Terran player. So if he doesn't get this harassment to work, he's gonna be behind actually. He's gonna be quite behind. Zerg can just out macro him. He'll have a bigger army, and if he manages to also take down the expansions, it's also pretty good. The expansion the Terran player tries to take. But if the Terran one does that, if the Terran snipes the expansions, preventing from the Zerg player from out macroing him, that'll also be pretty efficient on his hand. Now we do see a command center being thrown down by the Terran player. He's going to expand right now. It's a pretty good call. He's getting them widow mines, maybe to defend or to be aggressive. Have to see. No watchtower control for neither of the players. It's not being really that useful since most of the battles being taken on air. So he needs the overlords around here, which he is doing. Not that well, but he is. And now he just sent a suicidal overlord, which is actually going to get a lot of information. You know he's going to get a factory on top of that tech lab. And that is 2 expansions are almost done. He's going to throw down a second expansion. And he's getting that armory, so maybe we'll be seeing some Hellbats or maybe even Thors. Now, we see a Widow Mine going over here, so he is deciding to go aggressive with the Widow Mines, but I don't know if it's going to be that effective. Even though they are Zerglings, they are Speedlings, so if he manages to run by them, well, instead of focusing the Widow Mines, then it's pretty good. They don't trigger. They have a trigger time, and if you run by them without triggering them, and it's pretty good. I have to say. Cool thing about playing versus people with Widow Mines is they have friendly damage. So don't put your Marines on top of the Widow Mines. Don't put your Marines. Don't put your Marauders. Don't put your Bi Army. See the Widow Mines going for it with the Roaches. Ooh, he almost killed a Roach. I didn't know they almost killed Roaches. Well, actually I thought they actually kill Roaches. Oh, I learned something today. But we do see a pretty quiet game. Two people on this gas. Maybe he doesn't realize that he's missing a second guy on that gas. Getting Orbital Command here. He also has one here, so he's going really macro heavy. He's already getting the upgrades for the Terran ground army, the Terran mech army, actually. And we do see a Viking going for the base, maybe. No, it just stays there. While the Banshees are about to go up here. He scouts the expansion, did he? Yes, he did. He scouted the expansion, and he's gonna get it. Maybe he'll even force a cancel, or does he have? Okay, he has queens. I think he's gonna go for them with the queens. Yeah, he is. That creep thread though he's being pretty good about that creep thread. He's going pretty well. Although you have to keep creep spreading. You can't forget it, like he is down now. So he decides to take this third instead of this third. Like I said, maybe it's not the best idea, but I think with his army composition, he might just make it work. We do see some Thor Hellion heavy army. Not tanks though, just Thor and Hellion. Mostly even Thor. I think it just has the leftover Hellion. Hellion. Now we do see some Viking harassment going on by the Terran player. Now I think he killed a couple of workers, which is pretty efficient for him. He does need that economic advantage, because it didn't expand early on, and because of that economic advantage went for the Zerg player, and now he needs to take it back. I think he is. He's about to get the third. He should. Well, he's using this in the base just to pump workers and mules. So maybe it's a weird strat. I've never seen anyone do that, actually. Maybe it's just to slowly get your map control. Okay, he's now going to take third here. You do see like some constructible rocks. You destroy this and you block the access here. For Terra it might not be the right thing though, but for Zerg it's pretty good. Not even for Zerg actually. If you put a hatchery here and if you block this, you can't get the units out, and that's not good. If you can't get the units out, then it's less one expansion you're working with. Unless you pump out air from that. Air units, that is. Now, we do see the evolution chamber. I was about to say we didn't, but we do. We do see an evolution chamber too, actually. And he's getting the 1-1 upgrades, while the Terran has the 1 attack upgrades. He's researching the 1 attack. The 2 attack, actually. We do see a Thor heavy army with the Hellbats getting mixed through. They're pretty good tanks. They are pretty awesome tanks, and I think they do more damage than the Hellions. They're just slower. That's the only disadvantage they have. They're slower. Now I do see that the Banshees are going to try and do some more poking around, try and get some more damage. I do see an infestation pit being thrown down by the Zerg player, so maybe he's going for some sort of infestor play or swarm host play. Maybe he just wants to tech quick the hive. Maybe, no, not for the upgrades. Now he's poking around here. Maybe it's not working so well. He's going to try and get up here so the Hydras, these Hydras don't get up there, the Queens. And it managed to work pretty well. Now he's going for the main, where the infestation pit is almost done. He's going to scout the infestation pit into works, possibly. Oh. Yeah, he did. He's scouting the infestation pit. He knows it's done. That's all he needed. He knows that the infestation pit is done. Now, what do you... Well, maybe he's gonna do something with that. Okay, so he's going for a hive, which is okay. He might be going for Vipers, actually. I was still in the Wings of Liberty mindset, where Vipers didn't exist, so the hive was only for upgrades and Brood Lords and Ultras. So he's probably going for Vipers. Ultras don't work that well versus this army composition, and neither do Brood Lords. Well, they kind of do. But Vipers work on an amazing level. Now, going for the army composition, 25 Hydras versus 8 Roaches, 25 Hydras and 8 Roaches and 25 Zerglings, versus 5 Thors, 34 Hellbats and 6 tanks, and of course, the 1 Raven. It's just like, hey guys, I'm the Raven. That's the only Raven that I've ever heard of. And the Terran player is actually maxed out, so that'll be pretty good for him, because the Zerg player is not maxed out. He does have the larva to get it maxed out, but he wants to get the Vipers first, which he is going to get about now, maybe? Or any sort of hive tech. Oh, he decided to throw a 4th. And I completely skipped the fact that he had a 3rd. He's going to get a 5th, even though I completely missed the fact that he had a 4th. Right, 6 Vipers being thrown down. But the battle is going on, and the Hellbats just go in front. They do so much damage. They clean everything up in a matter of seconds. Mere seconds. The tanks are in the back, preventing anything too OP from happening. Any run by as anything. And they're pretty well positioned, so getting them all would be a nightmare, especially with the Viper blinding cloud. But you do see here, he's trying to spread out his army for the Hellbats, but it's just not going to work. There's too many Hellbats and too many Thors. Tanks siege up and they're right behind the army, so there's no way for the Zerg player to get there. But we do see a wing run by in the 3rd of the Terran player. The Terran player marches right into the base. He's trying to get some energy from the hatchery while transfusing it, but it's just too much. He's not going to get anything from it. He does have a blinding cloud on the Thors and the Hellbats, but there's nothing else he can do. This army was really good versus the Zerg player. The Hellbats and the mech style just demolished his Hydra. That's all. The blinding clouds, although did do a great job, They did. The Hydras, the Hellbats, everything was pretty good versus the Zerg player. He's just cleaning everything up. Roaches spawn and then die instantly. He doesn't care about the drones or the everything. He just wants to get the hatchery down. He can't produce anything else. And GG, well played. And the Terran player was victorious. It was a victory for the blue Terran with a mech style versus a Hydra style, which was kind of expected. And I think he had the upgrade advantage, didn't he? Can't even check. Oh yes, I can. Oh no. Okay, he kind of did. 2-2 versus 3-1. So he kind of did have the advantage, especially since he had the tanks. So the damage for the other troops, it did all of the work. He had the tanks, and these tanks, the Hellbats. Did a lot of the tanking, and the Zerg player could not take the damage. He could not. We do have a pretty good production of the Terran player. So it was constant production. The macro though slipped a bit for both of the players. 2,000 minerals for both of the players, which could have been controlled easily. Maybe the Zerg player could have had a macro hatch if he needed it, which he might have. Anyways, that was it. That was our ZvT. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.